Hi everybody, welcome. It's Ted here from emodels.co.uk. This is part 2 of our Hawker Typhoon build, the first part being the inbox review. This is the part where we start and get some plastic cut, some glue put on it and start putting this big boy together. I'm sorry about the camera angle, by the way, but it's such a big box. I've really had to sort of get the camera sort of best I can so that you can see what's probably become quite a bit of famous box art now. This fantastic picture of the Typhoon in action. Since the last time I did mention that there was a bit of a problem within the box regarding the faulty canopy. Obviously Airfix have taken this on board, and without question they have sent me a replacement canopy. Just came via, I sent them a message via email just to say that I had a faulty canopy and could they replace it, and almost by return post we have a replacement canopy. No problem at all. Well done Airfix for some superb customer relations and after sales service. It's really good, so we'll keep that in the bag. It'll be a little bit till we get to that yet, but if you do have a problem with Airfix at any time, I'm sure that just a simple call or an email to the spares department and they'll have you all sorted. Anyway, that's that done. Well, let's get rid of this lid of the box and let's have a look at some parts. Okay, I've taken the liberty, instead of you all sat watching me cut bits from the sprues and things like that, I've already cut some bits out. Let's get this camera down a little bit so we can see what's going on. Okay, that's a little bit better, a bit more closer to the cutting board. Back to my original cutting board. I did borrow the wife's in the review video, but she wants it back, so back to the original cutting board. Anyway, I've taken the time and trouble to cut some of these out. As I say, you didn't want to sit and watch me sort of cut some pieces off sprues and such like that. There was a little bit of cleaning up to do, not really too much to do at all. We're going to look at first with these parts, sections 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's a little bit of sort of lining up and making sure everything's straight and perpendicular to everything. No problems with cutting them out. I did do some test fits, and I noticed that on these, I'm not quite sure of the term of this part actually, but maybe it's a wing spar or something like that, that the parts A16 and A17, that's these two parts here, have little locating lugs on them. There we go, find the bits, find my pointer. Have some little locating lugs on them which locate into some locating holes on the spar itself. I did find that on the first test fit that they were sort of full of plastic, some seam spillage had squashed out, and they just needed to be opened up a little bit with a pin drill just to clear them out more than anything, just to make everything line up and fit together nicely. They do fit together rather well. So if you have that problem, a little pin drill, just clear them out. And also there was some ejector marks which meant that the parts didn't quite sit together properly. There's actually just one on there. I just noticed that now, so just a matter of clearing them off. It's not a big issue. I've seen far worse. And for Airfix, the first half a dozen parts that we've cut out here, half a dozen parts that we've cut out here are excellent. Anyway, there is only one way around that these parts will fit, so if you've got them mixed up like I've just done now, or just a bit of messing around just to find them again, there we go, that's that one in there, and that's that one in there. Yeah, that way around. Yeah, you'll see that it's the usual Airfix soft plastic, but once you get the extra parts on, it's starting to firm it up already, and I'm sure that as this build goes together, it'll be a solid construction. So that's that one in there, and that's that one in there. Right, we'll glue these bits on. As I say, what I'm doing throughout this build, I'm going to try and remain and use the Humbrol products. So I'm using the Humbrol liquid poly here, which I actually use for all my builds. If you saw the other videos, you'll see me using it on all my models. I find it an ideal medium for gluing. Because of the bendy plastic, they do fall up, seem to want to force themselves apart a little bit, so I've just got a couple of elastic band clamps just to hold them on just while the glue sets off. The next one as well, do the other side. That one as well. Another clamp on there. These are ideal. If you can pick these up, you can adjust the tensions of them by just putting different size elastic bands on. There's a bit of a craze going around at the moment with loom bands. Kids are using them. I find that you can use them as well on these. They're just a simple clip with an elastic band on. I found them at a model boating exhibition, but I'm sure that they'll probably turn up at most other model expos. That one goes in there. So they're quite a long jaw on them as well, so it allows quite a good spread. Okay, that's that going together. And we'll go on the bottom of that. Really is some fantastic detail just on these parts already. All the you can see how all the struts are all the rivets are all there. The struts themselves. Must forgive me, I'm not actually an aircraft expert. I just like building models of them. So if I don't know what parts are what, or if I misname something, forgive me for that. Next part, we're going to look at parts section 2. That's this bit. I think this is the pilot's rear cockpit bulkhead. Just finding out which way around, just to get the parts orientated. I do have my chart up. It's up here. It's not the usual Airfix one-sheet instructions. It's quite a big book, so we need something just to prop it up so we can refer to it. So that's the starboard side, I think, and there's the port side. One thing I did notice when I was cutting these out, you really need to refer to the instructions just to make sure that you're not actually cutting detail off. When you're cutting what you think might be a little bit of flash or a bit of extra plastic off, it actually could be a bit of detail. So just double check when you're cutting these out. Right, let's have a look at this. That's that one there, so that would seem to fit the wrong way around, that bit. In there somewhere. No, don't want to get this wrong. I just want to make it make sure I've got it all right. Right, that's that bit round. That's that bit on there. Have we got the right piece? Have we got it the right way around? Oh, there we go. That sits in there. Just a matter of working it in and it will sit. The tolerances are ideal on this. Nice tight slot in fit. So we need to drop in there, drop in there. And now this is where in the instructions they tell us that we need to get this at 90 degrees. That's where the lines on your cutting mat will come in useful. Get the first one on. And then let it set. Okay. The next one. I'm not going to touch that. I'll just line this next one up just to see where it goes in. Wrong way around. That's that way, I think. And it will sit, the bulkhead will sit in there against this part here and this part down here. Okay. Hopefully now I know where it goes. It will go in a little bit easier on this side. There we go. It would seem that this model is a glue and paint, not a case of putting it all together then slapping the paint all over it. It's really going to take some thought as to when you can put your paint on and how you're going to do it. I'm actually probably going to airbrush most of this. Just getting sure it's lined up. Yeah, I'll airbrush this. I'll be priming it short. I'll be priming it in stages, and then painting as we go along. I've already seen in a few days that this kit's been out. There's been a bit of a debate on what colour the inside of the aircraft is. I'll be following the instructions, which actually tells us that it's Humbrol 56, which is aluminium. I'll be doing it like that. I'll be following the kit instructions. Some people say black, some people say aluminium, some people say green. Whatever you want to do, it's entirely up to you. It's your model. But I'll be following those are the instructions. What I intend to do with this, I'll paint it aluminium and then just tone it down and give it that bit of weathered and used look. I'll probably give it an oil wash, a black oil wash, just to tone the aluminium down. We don't want it bright and everything like that. Just going to check some measurements here at the front, just using a steel rule. That looks to be about 38 at the front. Now it tapers in at the back, so we need to take the measurements just behind the bulkhead. A little bit splayed. I'm sure that if the instructions are telling us that when it's being quite specific that it needs to be straight, so let's bring that down to 35 and 35 at the back there as well. Right, okay, I think the next piece here will actually bring it all together and ensure, just clearing off some mould seam. Really not a lot to clear off. Just get a file a moment, some salmon paper just to take the edge off that. So, sorry, can't see that. Okay, doesn't appear to be, oh, there does appear to be two ways around this. I'll just get the instructions. Right, part 28. On the front, on one side, there appears to be two locating brackets or something like that, and they appear, according to the instructions, to go on the inside. So we can put that there. Keep dropping it. Ah, yeah, the locating lugs actually locate and push into two little webs. There's two little webs just in there that those locating lugs push onto, and that really that firms it all up now. After we've measured that, yep, 35, and it's splaying it out of the front, which, yeah, looking at the drawing, that actually does what happens. So we just need to ensure that it's at the right, it's right angles at the back here in this section that we need to make sure is lined up. As I say, using the marks on your cutting board, that's where a cutting board comes in handy if you've got one. If not, I'd certainly recommend getting one. It saves the work surface, saves your tools, especially hence the cutting mat, saves the blades on your knives. And once again, that's that bit done. Okay, let's back to this piece. I'm going to take these off. You should have cured enough by now to have held it in place. Great little pieces of kit. Those clamps come in a multitude of sizes as well. Right. Just a moment. We'll just leave that for the moment. There just appears to be somebody at the door. Okay, back in a moment. Problem of having your model room at the front of the house. I can see them coming, and they can see me, and I can't pretend that I'm out. Never mind. Anyway, let's get back to this. Where were we? Yep, we're about to put this two sections together to section 3. So we'll take part from section 2 and the part from section 1, and trying to orientate ourselves. That goes that way around. So this part here goes to the, I'm assuming that's the aft section, and that slips somehow into there. Test fit everything. Really slips together very well. And the next part is this part. part B01, and looking at the diagram, it's bent, or as it should be, in that sort of thing, and that slips into there. Perfect. Wow, even that bit there, you can appreciate how big this is going to be now. I think that's just the skeleton of this aircraft. And then this part, B22, will slip in here somewhere. Let's get the instructions back again. Really need good eyes for this. It doesn't actually sit on the top. The diagram, the little diagram here, shows that it actually sits down inside here somewhere. Let's try it to fit. Is there an upside? There's an upside. Just try with some tweezers and we'll see where it's going to fit. It looks like it sits in here on the bulkhead. Just in front of the bulkhead there's a couple of little lugs, and it sits in there, and then on to some lugs on top of the framework that we've just put in, and sits down in there. It all sits in. Superb fit. We can take that out for the moment. Oops. And we can now concentrate on getting these bits glued in. So we'll just look where the mating surfaces are. There and there, there's the glue. Now it's been a while since I've built an actual Airfix kit, so this will be a bit of a learning curve for me as well, but if the rest of it is seeming to go together as the first half a dozen parts here have, I don't think we're going to struggle with this at all. I'll take this one out. Make sure we've got it the right way around. Just making sure it's lined up at the bottom, everything's nice and straight. Just a touch just to finish it off. There we go. Well, we can see now that these parts we have here, and we're already correctly 12, 13 inches across there. I'm just wondering if my model table is going to be big enough. Okay, there's a bit we tried before. Let's just adjust the light a little bit. Can you see that? Remember to check your drawing. That's the top. Two little square sections facing upwards. That will fit in there. It's in now. Such a good fit, it's almost probably going to hold without glue, but never mind. There we go. Touching that. Now the paints I'm going to use for this, if you didn't see my box review, I will be doing it in the Humbrol colours. As I say, I believe that Airfix will have done all the homework for us, and they will have picked the right colours to go in the right places. I'll be using a mix of acrylics and enamels. Where possible I'll be airbrushing. I haven't got an expensive airbrush, just one of the cheap copies, but it does. I'm quite happy with it. Anyway, we'll continue with this until a couple more stages, and then what I'll intend to do is I'll give it a coat of undercoat primer. I'm not going to use my airbrush for the primer. I'm actually going to use a rattle can. It's a lot easier, saves a lot of messing around, getting everything ready. It's just as quick and just as cheap. I've just got a rattle can from a auto spares supermarket, and I'll be using that with that. So what we've got now, we've got this completed up to section 4. That's nicely stuck in there, I hope. Yep, all in that. That'll be going hard. I'll skip section 5 because that looks like there's some sort of pedals, or it's certainly a different colour that'll be going in there at the moment. I can explore that further a bit. The next part, part 6, won't impact upon section 5, so we can always go back to that. So we'll finish putting some of these tubular framework parts in up to section 8, and then we'll look at getting this first part primed. Okay, so we're going to look for sprues. Frame B, that's that one. We're going to need part 19. This is an optional part. It says in the instructions, if you're planning to close the engine bays up, this is an optional part, so you won't need this if you're closing up. Obviously, we're going to be having ours on view, so we do need this bit. So that's part 19. It's upside down and backwards. Just have to remember to orientate yourself with everything here. Just a tiny touch of sprue on there. Yep, that's okay. Get it the right way around. That's the right way around, and it sits on that lug there and into there. He says confidently. Hoping that we've got everything the right way around. Yep. Okay. I really need to check this. It's just a bit of a fiddle. Just want to get it right. Just parallel. that's it, I see it now. There are a couple of lugs just inside here. I didn't see them before, as I said, checking my eyesight. There are a couple of lugs just inside. Let's get the light on this. Just in that, and this part, I've lost it again. This part sits in them. And then onto the bulkhead at the back. In there like that. Didn't think it was going to go then. I thought that's why I had to check if I got everything the right way around. It just clips together this. Oh, that's that one done. Part 20. Once again, an optional part. Maybe it's better if I really been looking forward to getting into this model. It's just unfortunate that when it turned up from E-Models, my shift pattern was changed at short notice, which meant I had to work and I haven't been able to get to it, as I've been dying to get onto this. Just been dying to get onto this and start building. Now then, it seems to be, I'm sure it'll fit, it's just finding where. Right, that strut goes in there, and then it's indicated that it goes into or onto this strut here. It sits in there, and the other parts sit in there and there. However, it does look like it may just need to spread a little. Nope, I took a little bit of time out there just to check on this, and what happens is that there is a part, this part here, part 25, which should really go in first before part 20, because part 20 then sits onto it. Just needed to take a little time out just to sort of clarify what was going on here, but it does, when you work it out, it does fit. It does fit in. I've also gone on and fit the other part, the forward section of the cockpit framework. And I think from there, what we'll do, I'll take a break in this video today. I'll go on and give this a coat of primer, and then I'll give it a coat of aluminium, Humbrol aluminium, which is recommended. And then from that, won't stop at that. As I said, I intend to give it a probably an oil wash just to tone it down a little bit and take that off it. Then we'll move on to the next parts. There's still lots more parts to build in this, but as we can see already, even in the first, how many sections have we done now? First 8 sections of this, we've already got loads of detail in here, and it would be a shame to rush it and spoil it on. As I say, I've been really waiting to get cracked on with this, so part 2 shouldn't be too long. But thanks for watching part 1. So Ted from E-Models, emodels.co.uk is the email address where you can find out if the availability of these kits, and the guys there will get you one out. But thanks for watching. Catch up with the next part of the build, which will be part 3 next time, and I'll see you all again. Thank you.